Before the actual video starts, I need to give a disclaimer. I made this video intending to put it on YouTube and still am. It's still how I feel. Most of these people have a job to do, and like I say in the video, I apologize for the disrespect. I just saw something since making the video that has sparked my interest again, and I plan to get serious about it like I was, or as much as I can. Now for the video. This is nuts. No pun intended as far as Jasmine. I don't know that's true. But first off, I would like to apologize for being disrespectful to anyone who has died in all this or had loved ones killed. It's just hard not to take some of this as a joke. I also want to instigate things for ZackTV. If I am right about that though, I doubt anyone needs to. Speaking of Zack, I guess he has permanently moved back to New York. If I am right, that might buy him a little time. I would like to say on behalf of anyone who has lost sleep over this and not been paid for their time, fuck Kate 420. I have wondered about her, but I'm completely convinced she is working for someone. And out of all the others, she is probably the best actor. I was thinking she was just an idiot. I was looking into Jasmine Ellis, or whatever his or her name was at the time, for having its fiancé's organs harvested when she did the interview with the supposed crime scene analyst, but I wasn't interested. I knew in one way or another it's just more to mislead us like the surveillance videos, so why analyze it? I wish I had. I told you FactCheck TV was my favorite Kenneka YouTube channel. I should have had more faith in them. The crime scene analyst was a YouTuber who goes by the name of Zondi. I'm not sure where they stand as far as their gender either. I will say it when I'm unsure. Not to be disrespectful, but because it's easier. Wikipedia had them listed as a man, but it sounds very feminine. Maybe it's in a transition period. Jasmine could be a donor, but Ben K was acting like Jasmine whipped it out on Andre and P. Rico in Washington, but I wasn't clear on what happened. Nonetheless, Zondi is an actor. Jasmine, you didn't think to Google this person? As much as you made fun of Kate for doing an interview with whoever that was claiming to be Charles Dorsey? Don't worry. Kate has forgiven you because she is giving this actor claiming to be a crime scene analyst her seal of approval. Kate isn't as stupid as we all thought she was. I don't know what the gender fluid actor is saying because I didn't watch it all, but I promise you it has a reason for saying it. As far as this being fake, Kenneka is supposed to be related by common law marriage. His common law wife is supposed to be Kenneka's grandmother. He is a real person spending his life in prison. He isn't getting out and isn't supposed to be the type of person who would participate in something like this for attention. I don't know much about him other than that. I'm not a gang groupie and only care about something like that as much as it affects me. I will share a vague description of an experience I had with a gangster disciple who is from Chicago. Well, on second thought I won't, but what I will say is that I know personally that the ones who are actually hooked up with them follow rules and a code. I don't know how much pull Larry Hoover has. There are probably more fake gangster disciples than real ones. And I don't mean not having people who will kill you, but I mean just a group who like the name. I'm assuming that's why it's all so confusing in Chicago. GDs and BDs are both folk and kill each other, but BDs are okay with gangs that are people. You have gangs that are GDs and BDs who kill their own. So it doesn't mean anything. I guess for the most part they pick the names and symbols like most and do whatever they feel like. Anyway, I'm not trying to glorify it, but there is supposed to be structure, I guess, for real ones. If I have a problem with somebody claiming to be a GD in my city, a GD from a different part of the country should be able to find out about them for me. And get them punished if they are doing something they aren't supposed to. If they are talking to police or something, but there are a lot of rules I guess they have that are commendable. I don't think they are supposed to pimp women, or maybe just women in the gang. I don't know how much I agree with that, but it's noble. It also raises some questions about Kenneka and all of these prostitutes she was supposed to be friends with. Where I was going with this is this person I know because he didn't want their business in public. He told me to contact him privately, which I did, and he helped me with something. And again, not to glorify it, but I was impressed by the professionalism. Anybody can claim to be anything they want to, but I think if they are actually connected it's supposed to be like that. So I definitely didn't want to be disrespectful to anybody before, but the whole thing is ridiculous now. This relates because if it's those types of people, they don't want it being public. Larry Hoover wouldn't participate in some nonsense ZackTV thought up for attention. And if ZackTV had anything to do with it, we know he did, but I guess if he had anything to do with it and isn't helping them, if they aren't doing all this and Kenneka is Larry Hoover's granddaughter, then he is on borrowed time no matter where he goes. Ty Rowland never seemed authentic to me. I think Tanisha was supposed to be an actor. If he is really from Chicago, people should know him and know who he's with. ZackTV could have killed her and organized all this to make it seem like it was a gang rivalry. But who is Teresa? She was pimping out whoever we know as Kenneka, and maybe she was just somebody all of them lived with. Every group of high school girls has one who has a mother who wants to be one of them, or it could have just been someone from the neighborhood. You know what I'm talking about though. What I mean though is Zack can't just hire someone to play her mother to fool her family. Fuck Teresa though. I thought Teresa was one of Kate's sacred cows because she's an old white woman and doesn't want her followers, who are mostly black women, to jump down her throat. I think most can think for themselves. At least as much as any other American demographic, I guess, but I thought maybe it's her perspective as an older white woman. I think most black women can look at this bitch and see her for what she is, but I'm thinking in Kate's mind she doesn't think it's her place to say that. Now I think it was something else. It seems like only last week we were going over fake surveillance footage to see Carl Nesbitt's shotgun. Now it's fake again. Fuck that old bitch too. She knows what she's doing. It's deeper than ZackTV though. It is all connected to the point that it relates to Las Vegas. Zack may have been doing a job before all this. Meaning it was more than him just glorifying the ignorance. There is definitely a market for it, but I think his goal was more than that, and he knew people high up that took this and tried to help him and possibly use it to help them, but it didn't work. That's my opinion for now. But I want to know who in Chicago knows any of these people. Someone else in on it was Shanaz, that girl who put those videos out. I fell for her BS too. She has this soft sweet voice, and she is the only one who took the time to get the videos from the police with her own money and put it up for all of us. She just comes out of nowhere when all any of us were doing was talking. But then kind of disappears, saying she doesn't have the time. But she can send us all the spyware. The police, as far as I know, never responded to anyone about the surveillance videos. She was also the one to say, "Who's this fat guy in the kitchen?" Oh okay, someone said that's her uncle. Okay. Meaning we fucked up here is the explanation. I don't know much about Jasmine having or being born with a penis. I never thought she was a man. I watched her and her mom fleeing, I'm just joking, driving home from a prayer visual, if that's the word, but the Las Vegas shooting. And I did notice she was big. Not fat, but just had a large frame in comparison to Jordan. And I wondered why she didn't have children. I hate to bring that up if she just has fertility issues. I'm really not a cyberbully or whatever she says. I wouldn't be picking on her if I didn't think there was something to it. But I think it's low to say anything about fertility issues to a woman. These days though, you have to be careful. If I meet a woman through a dating app, that's the first thing I ask. I start a conversation about children. I think it comes across as me being desperate, or maybe just wanting to make sure I will get unprotected sex from her soon, but the truth is I'm trying to ask as politely as possible, if you were born with a penis. One almost got me like that. I know tolerance is the big thing these days, but the transgender thing takes it too far if you ask me. It's sick. You had the gay thing and it's like whatever. So that's cool now. But then you have men get their penis cut off and do whatever they do down there. They take hormones to sound like women and even get the body of a female of good breeding stock, and if you haven't been careful and you meet women on the internet, you have probably been with one. It seems worse on the internet, but even if I meet a girl regularly, if she is 5'8" or taller, I need to research her. I think that rule should keep you fairly safe. If you are one of these people, I think you have the moral obligation to inform men of that. If a man finds that out after the fact, he is obligated to end your life, in my opinion. I don't think he should need to ask something like that. As far as Jasmine, I don't know. I would be surprised a little, but being that I know she's involved in this in a way, I wouldn't be. Something with trannies. But now that I think about it, Tazonda, if she is in with the Biological Resource Center, she could have her pick of sex organs, so I doubt Jasmine would have been a donator. Or maybe that's not how they do it. The point I'm trying to make is, before this case I didn't believe in evil. Nothing is inherently wrong, just what doesn't go right for you personally. So moral relativity, which is a fact, but I'm not a nihilist. Now though, I do believe in evil. There is greed and self-preservation, which is human nature, and then there is the worship and celebration of everything unnatural. Nature being a creation of God, if you believe in that. So I don't see self-preservation or killing as inherently evil. Universal evil could only be what goes against what God created. Sometimes I think if you view yourself as a higher form of life, I think you should try to be above animal instinct, but when I realized this was likely about organ harvesting, or at least an aspect, it doesn't sit right with me. I'm not superstitious, but this case had me listening to psychics talking about demons. And if anything is demonic, it's those original WGN clips. There is just something wrong. It messes with your head. Those aren't the same as the full version Zack directed. I think it was deliberate though. I believe organ harvesting is part of it, but not everything. The celebration of evil and everything unnatural. Maybe that's the transsexual thing. Even though they were killed off in most cases, I think someone has a fetish for that reason. I think that's why they are all around this. I was just thinking this looking at one of the FactCheck TV people commenting that I need Jesus. I'm not sure about that, but this case and FactCheck TV do make me more determined to seek my Creator. I think some new developments will come soon. And not Monifa. Please shut up, bitch. You had your 15 minutes. You probably didn't even know the real Kenneka. Whoever that is.